Today I'm going to show you how to install a remote control into the 2011 Hotshot spinning wing decoy. With the decoy comes a 6-volt lead acid battery, the charger, a couple of feet. Here's the wire harness, is about $4.50. This particular decoy was like 36 bucks, 40 bucks, something like that. Wire harness is about $40–50 depending on where you get it, or this remote control rather. You definitely would want a Phillips head screwdriver, and a pair of pliers might be necessary. Decoy looks like this. Comes installed standard on-off switch, which we're going to replace that. So the first thing to replace that is you take out all the screws, and I will bring it back when I have them all out. Okay, once the screws are all out, you just want to take the cover off. It looks like this, and you want to take out, make sure these are unattached. You know, if they are attached, it'll be one on here and the others down there. Sometimes they're awful tough, so you can just take a pair of pliers and get them off that way. But you just pop this out. Okay, and let me undo this. Okay, one thing with this harness is you definitely want to find out how to unattach this. There's like a little lever, and you pull it out. Make sure you take off the lever though, or else it'll stick. I guess there's like a little push button thing. Step 3. You want to disconnect these, which, as I said, they can be a pain. I'm going to use pliers to get them off. If you're strong enough, you might be able to pull them off with your fingers. I don't know. But you got to be really careful you don't pull out the wires. So make sure you use the metal piece attachment that's in here, and use the metal piece to pull them out without crimping this particular section up here, or it won't work. I'll bring it back when I get them all off. Okay, now that I have them all off, just make sure when you do reassemble it, when you do put it back on, because you're going to pop this in the back from underneath, and you're going to connect the wires from on top. When you do put it back on, just remember your black goes on the single line, your yellow will be on the circle, and your red will be on the double line. Just a note here, when you do reassemble it, it's easier to keep the little wire harness button out, and then you just feed the wires through, and then attach it out here, and then push it back in there. So when I finish that, I'll bring it back. Okay, now that we have that taken care of, what you want to do is you want to get your remote control kit and get it out, because then we can start putting that together. Okay, the remote control internal component looks sort of like this. What I do is this long black wire here that's sort of attached by this little tiny zip tie is the antenna. So what I do is I pull the antenna out of here, and what it's supposed to do is supposed to put it down the neck. So what I like to do is pull that out and put it in the neck, and once I get it assembled a little bit more, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, I attached the one section of the wire harness to the remote control internal component, and they just snap together really easy. If you want to get them apart, you push down and you pull out like you did the other. And with the antenna, I just took it out. I don't bother taking off this little zip tie. I think that you risk cutting the wires, so it's, you know, a waste of time too, because you can just pull this antenna out. And I slip it right down the neck. I like to put this whole component, there's a lot of wires and stuff. I like to get it underneath and make sure that the motor and the running components don't ever interfere with the wires, because, you know, that'd be the worst thing to happen is all the wires get tangled up. So you want to make sure that I put this in the front, and I usually tape it eventually, and it should be relatively clean. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the battery in, and the battery obviously runs the whole unit, and it's quite heavy. I don't know, I didn't measure how many pounds or ounces or whatever, but it adds most of the weight to the decoy. So let me install that and I will come back. Oh, and just a side note I wanted to tell you before I install the battery is these little clips, they just slip right off, so it should be relatively easy to slip those off. It was sort of confusing when I first saw it. I didn't know what to do with them, if I was supposed to leave them on, take them off, but they slip right off, and I guess you're supposed to leave them off, so that's what I do. Okay, so I installed the battery. All it is you simply put this, you take this little lever off, and you put the battery in, and you screw it back on as tight as it'll go, and then your battery won't move around. You put there's 4 connectors that come off this wire harness. There's a red, a black, a blue, and a white. The red always goes to the positive. Make sure that that red cord has this. It's a little fuse inside there, and that will prevent it from, you know, ruining your motor. It'll blow the fuse, and then you'll replace the fuse instead of replacing your whole entire decoy. Black to black, blue and white, they can be interchangeable. It depends on which way you want the wings to spin. If you want them, I like mine going, that would be counterclockwise if you were to look at it from this angle. And that would be blue on top, white on bottom. If you like it the opposite, then you'd put white on top, blue on bottom. It really doesn't matter the placement of those two. But definitely get black to black, red to red, and make sure you have your fuse coming off your red. What I like to do, like I said before, is tape this up, get it out of the way. Most of your weight is in this battery, so make sure this is secure. And let's see if it works. It does. And let's try the remote. Excellent. And so that's how to install a wire harness remote control kit in the 2011 model Hotshot. Happy hunting!